Streamlined Backshop presents a brief demonstration of our Pioneer Zephyr sound file. This is a custom file available for the ESU LokSound version 4.0 and 4.0 Micros and Ls and XLs. The file is not usable with a select. This is the difference between a select and a version 4.0 is the ability to create a custom file like this. So the file is it's not a recording of an actual Pioneer Zephyr. That's long since restored in a museum, and there are no operating examples of the actual prime mover that was used in it. So we built a file based on our best research and the best recordings that are available today that would simulate what the Pioneer Zephyr would have actually sounded like. We have used numerous books and manuals, as well as I've watched the movie. You know, the Pioneer Zephyr was a star in a 1934 Hollywood spectacular called The Silver Streak. So I've watched that 100 times, and through that process we have tried to identify the key elements that made the Zephyr unique, as well as studied the operating characteristics to mimic the way the train really ran. The file itself is built off of an 8-cylinder EMD 567 with a roots blower. This is as close to the original prime mover, which was a Winton 8-cylinder model 201A. The EMD 567 8-cylinder is as close as we could possibly get. The story is, the history of it is that the Winton became actually the same design was incorporated into the 567, just a refined version of it. All of the primary elements are the same: the roots blower, the 8-cylinder, the firing pattern, you know, all of the basic components of it remain the same. And this is a recording of a true EMD 8-cylinder 567, which is a pretty rare recording in and of itself. The file is appropriate for the Pioneer Zephyr, the original twin Zephyrs, which later of course became the Sam Houston and the Ozark State Zephyrs, the Mark Twain Zephyr, and the Flying Yankee. The file has a dual chime horn set up as the primary horn. It's built off of a Leslie A200 and an A125. This is, to the best of our research, the way the prototype was configured as it went into regular operation. It changed numerous times over the course of its career, so the way the file's set up, a person can operate one, both, either one or both horns, and of course with some remapping you can make either one the default if you like. But then the bell has been modeled to simulate what we could hear in the movie. It's a unique bell, so it took us a little while to get that modeled properly, and it has some additional sound effects in it, including some doors and the air conditioning, which is a very subtle but important sound effect because the Pioneer Zephyr was one of the very first applications of air conditioning. It was absolutely critical for this train because the windows didn't open, so our Fiile has some AC in it too. And so with that, let me go through the Here's our 8-cylinder 567. And because I don't have a long enough runway here, I'm just going to use manual notching to spool it up and down. And take it up to run 8. Take it back down to idle. Shut down. Nope. Then here's the horn. Oh, I'm sorry, the bell. That's a dual chime horn. Here's the A200. Here's the A125. Now let's see. Here is a door sound effect. To simulate the opening and closing of the doors. There's the air conditioning. See, we've got a brake set. Here's the fans. That was the radiator fans. And then the sanding valve. That's the sanding valve. And then the model is programmed to fully function with either the pre-war or the post-war version. This is the pre-war model, so I can't demonstrate the upper headlight programming, but it does have an upper Mars headlight pre-programmed, so depending on which model you have, it's ready to go. And then it does have the dynamic braking function. It's actually just the braking function set up so that you know, if you want to use the traditional brake function, the dynamic brake sound effect has been removed, but the functionality remains, which is a fun way to operate the trains. That's on F11 as usual. So with that, That's our Pioneer Zephyr. Let me run it through the prime mover one more time. Visit me on the web at www.SBS4DCC.com, where you'll find a copy of the Pioneer Zephyr sound file, a full selection of ESU LokSound decoders, and many other great products for the avid model railroad enthusiast. Thank you.